We are getting ready to make the most amazing, what I like to call big stack. These are big, fluffy, soft, delicious pancakes. Oh my goodness. You only really need a couple because they're that big, that soft, and that good. Before we get started, if you are new to the channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me today here in my kitchen. Take a second and subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notification bell so you won't miss anything. Returning subscribers, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me once again. And channel members, thank you so much. Okay, we have a few ingredients here. We're going to start off with some self-rising flour. As always, I'll have the exact measurements in the description. But for these, you will actually have to adjust the ingredients according to how many pancakes you may need for your family. To that, I'm adding some baking powder. Yes, self-rising flour and baking powder. Good heaping spoonful. I am also using powdered buttermilk. I do not like using regular buttermilk in my pancakes. I'm just not a fan of the flavor of using regular buttermilk in my pancakes, so I've always used the powdered buttermilk, and I think that it really has the best flavor as well. So a couple of spoons of that. Now we're just going to mix this together because these are our dry ingredients. To that, I am adding sour cream. We're adding 2 eggs. And a splash of vanilla extract. Go ahead and start incorporating this before we add in our liquid. Doesn't have to be perfectly incorporated, you just want to get it started. Now we're going to add in room temperature water. No matter how many pancakes you're making, you want to make sure that you add your water in a little bit at a time. We have to have it to the right consistency, but you sure can't take the water back out. A little bit more runnier so it can soak up some of that water. And it's okay if your batter still has a few lumps in it. That's perfectly fine. That's the way it usually is. And this is the consistency of runniness that we're looking for. Just like that. Now from here, we're going to let this sit for about 5 minutes and heat up our skillet. And just as I was heading to the stove, I realized I actually missed an ingredient. We need to add some sugar. Go ahead and stir that in. And then continue to let it rest. Make sure your skillet is heated to medium low. You don't want to cook these high at all. I am using some vegetable oil. I know a lot of people don't like it. You can use canola oil. You can use butter. Butter does not work as well. Swirl it around just in case it gets on the edges. You want to make sure that it is covered in that oil as well. Okay, now the next thing to do is pour it, and pour it just in the center. Do not move your container. I like to put my batter in a measuring cup so that I can pour it evenly. Once you get it in there, pick your skillet up and swirl it just a little bit to kind of even it out. Swirl that oil around the edges so that it can cook those edges and set, and it won't continue to run. Now we're just going to cook it on this side until we see nice bubbles over it, and I'll show you what you need to do when you flip it over. Make sure you wait until you see bubbles forming all across the top and your edges are starting to brown. Otherwise, when you flip it, all the batter is going to run off into your skillet, and that's what you don't want to happen. Also, you're going to get your maximum rise on your pancakes once you flip it over. That's when that heat is going to rise the pancakes up. Continue to rotate your skillet around so that that oil can make sure it sets those edges really good before we flip. Once you get a good amount of bubbles on top like this, see all the bubbles and the holes are forming, now is the time you want to flip it. But get ready, because once you flip it, you're going to have to probably fix it a little bit, and I'll show you what I mean by fix it, to make sure it's that good looking round pancake. Always flip it away from you, and you see all that extra pancake that came around the edge? As quickly as possible, push it up against the pancake and rotate that oil around to set it. Any extra that forms on the side, like this right here, just go ahead and scoop that off so it won't burn. While it's cooking on that side, go ahead and put a pat of butter on the top, so that butter can start to soften some, and you can put it all over that pancake. And as you can see, it's starting to rise. That's how you get that pancake. And pushing those edges in is how you get it more uniform in look. As that butter warms up, if it's already soft, it's best to have your butter at room temp, but I didn't have mine at room temp. And just start to spread it around while it cooks on that second side. That butter is going to go down in all those little holes that have formed on the top, giving it that good buttery flavor. Once the other side starts to form those edges, as you can see, it's cooked on the other side. That's when you want to go ahead and take it out. But to make sure it's done, just press on it a little bit. If it feels firm, it's done completely inside. If it doesn't feel firm, then you want to cook it just a few seconds longer. Take it out, set it aside. After that, when you have little crumbs in it, go ahead and get those out the best you can. Otherwise, they will tend to burn, and we don't want that. Add more oil to your skillet for each pancake. Continue to add a little bit more oil in there. Ooh, look at our big stack of pancakes. Oh my goodness. Don't forget the syrup. Delicious. Don't they look amazing? Look at that big stack of pancakes. Big and fluffy. Oh my goodness. When you are making these, do not forget to put the butter on your pancakes once you flip them over, because those little holes that bubble up in the pancake, when you put that butter on there and let it melt slowly while it's cooking on the other side, whoo, you're talking about a completely buttery pancake. Not just the outside, but the inside too. Okay, let's do a taste test. Put a little syrup on this one. Oh my, I wish you all could smell it. We need smell-o-vision. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Oh my goodness. Let me see. Let me see. And this is my brandy syrup. I will link that video at the end of this video so that you can make that as well. This is absolutely amazingly delicious. Oh my goodness. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the next video. And I will see you next time. The good Lord willing and the creek don't rise. Bye-bye.